What's good, y'all? It's Abwon, and I am back with another entry into the Before You Watch spoiler-free review universe. My last review was for Endgame, the #1 movie in the entire world, probably the #1 movie in the entire galaxy. I predicted it was going to break a whole bunch of records, and it did, so kudos to myself and kudos to the MCU. Disney, stay winning. Round of applause for them. I'm really interested and intrigued to see where this series goes next, but this particular review is for a Netflix original, viewer recommended from Summer Al, SAMAR_AL. Definitely go follow her on the gram. So serial killers, their crimes, their victims, the family and friends of the serial killer are pretty much a hot commodity right now. It's a hot topic. Ted Bundy has a documentary and a feature film with an A-list celebrity playing him out on the same platform. So I figured it was a no-brainer for me to release a review for Mindhunter out right now, especially since Charlize Theron, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, one of the executive producers of the show, confirmed maybe 48 hours ago, that's 2 days, that Season 2 will indeed be airing in August of this year, and seeing as how that's my birth month and the greatest month of the entire year, you know I'm tuning in. So if you've never heard about this show, let me just give you a quick synopsis here. It is based on the book of the same name that is based on true events, so this is a true story. You have two gentlemen by the names of Holden Ford and Bill Tench. Holden Ford is a young, upcoming, clever, risk-it-all, ambitious, anything for the shot type of guy. He starts out as a Poindexter, but he comes into his own eventually. Then you have Bill Tench, who's his partner. He's the older, more logical thinking, experienced veteran. He's real mysterious. That's my favorite character. And then later on, they link up with a very powerful woman by the name of Wendy Carr. So they pretty much interview and interrogate mass murderers. I mean, guys that are on the level of Charles Manson. You can literally Google all of their interviewees. They're real life serial killers. And they try to just get into the mind of these madmen and notice patterns in their behavior and understand why they commit these heinous acts. And then they train the up and coming recruits, and they try to implement it within their daily lives to use it as a means to capturing potential serial killers. But all is not well in the land of Mindhunter, because as the characters develop and the story unfolds and progresses, things start to go left. You start to see people become unhinged. You start to see the drastic and dramatic measures and desperate measures that people take to get information. And the great thing about this show is David Fincher does a fantastic job of putting you in the scene. This show is very, very intense and very suspenseful, very thrilling, which is very telling because there's not a lot of going on. Yes, there are gory scenes because you will see murder, you will see graphic imagery, but that doesn't take precedence over the show. It's all about getting into the mind of this person. I mean, these are guys that behead their own mothers and then have sex with the skull, and they'll give you pretty much an entire background story on as to why they did it, and it all makes sense in a twisted sort of way. The show can be very predictable at times. However, when the events transpire that you have predicted, you're still in awe, you're still in shock, because the show does that great of a job of keeping you engaged and still alluring you into the storyline. I love criminal psychology. I love forensic files. Investigation Discovery is one of my favorite channels. So this show's like right up my alley. However, if those shows really aren't for you, you still will be captivated by the show because it's just so well done. And there are some characters that they show you the early stages of them becoming the serial killer that they are, that we know of in history. I'm not gonna give it away, but you know, you could just literally Google somebody and be like, wow. Or you could just watch it and say, I've heard of that guy. I bet you that's who that is. And it happens, you know. It's pretty dope the way it unfolds. The one thing I really did not like about this show, that there are some characters that really just don't play a certain point. One character being Holden's girlfriend. She can be very sarcastic. She tries to pretty much like belittle him at times and try to talk down on him. I mean, they work well together. They have excellent chemistry because Holden Ford is by no means perfect. I mean, nobody is. And their dynamic is really, it works. But eventually, towards the end of the season, I was like, well, what is her purpose? Because I thought their story arc was going to reach a certain plateau, and it never actually happened. So then I was like, okay, so if that didn't go down, what exactly is she here for? And this happens with a certain amount, with a few other characters, not too many, but that's pretty much the only negative aspect I had of the show. There also could have been a lot more women in this show too, but given the era that this show takes place in, I can understand why there weren't that many women in the workplace. I mean, this show shows you the beginnings of the term serial killer. Like, that's how far back it goes, and it's just, the show is just fire, man. You just gotta check it out. I watched it in about 3 days. I think there's only 10 episodes. Every episode's an hour. You could literally watch it like that. You know, Game of Thrones is gonna be done in 2 weeks. I know you guys are gonna need something to watch, and this is the show to watch, especially before season 2 comes out. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this show an 8.9 out of 10. I'm definitely gonna watch it again before season 2 premieres, and I expect season 2 to be much bigger and much better. So definitely check it out. Let me know what you thought. Holla at me on social media. Holla at Summer_Al on social media as well. This was a very, very, very good pick. And it happened extremely random. She didn't recommend it to me, actually. I actually asked her about this show, and she told me about it because she was reading the book. So shout out to her. This was a really good pick. I really did enjoy it, and I know you guys will as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the Cinematics channel. The first episode is already out. You know, it's all things film centric. The reviews will be over there shortly. We do trailer analysis and reviews, film news, film gossip, ending explanations, all of that. So, you know, definitely tune into them. So I'm out of here. Be good, y'all.